So I've listened to all the interviews with Sound Animal.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all guys are really good together. So much so, I'm really thinking about developing a beverage bra of my own, but it'll be for middle-aged men.
Oh, shit, the beverage bra. Somebody already invented it. It's already done.
Yes, but I'm going to refine it because it's not going to be for women. It's going to be for men.
So it's going to be for man boobs? For dad bods?
For moobs.
Moobs. And that's what you should name it.
BYOB or bring your moob.
Bring your moob.
So y'all guys are good together. I really think you should continue interviewing with her too, because y'all have a real good, y'all just sound good together. And we could always do a threesome too if you'd wanted to do that.
Yeah.
See, you would have totally run with that in a conversation with her, but with me, it's like playing ball with someone that like you throw them the ball, but they can't catch it because they don't have arms. They just let it hit their chest and fall to the ground. It's not right. Y'all talk about all kinds of stuff.
I don't know why. It was very comfortable. So
yeah. Oh, the part that made me laugh the most was when you were talking about the Amazon guy.
Oh my God.
And you're like, so you're back for more?
That was her. That
was you.
No, she was the one who had the Amazon guy, not me.
No, but you were the one that said, so you've come back for more.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. She just has a lot on her plate, so.
I think a lot of people do.
I think we're all trying. Well, we got a little heavy-handed. We started to feel like we were emerging from the chaos.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes I think we're living a life of buffet of bullshit, you know?
Buffet of bullshit. That, my friend, would be an excellent title to an album.
Actually, it'd be a good book, too.
Mm-hmm.
You should write it.
I should write it? Are you trying to say I'm full of shit?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. No, that's saying that life is full of. I always tell my when my kids go, you know, I never wanted this. And I was like, yeah, well, join the club. My life is a series of events I never wanted to experience.
And here we are.
They never appreciate it.
No.
They never appreciate my sarcasm.
No. Your sarcasm, sometimes it's rough for me. I'm like, I can't tell if he's fucking joking. Like, I really don't know. Should I laugh? Should I make a joke?
You know,
you're so dry that it's hard to tell.
I'm really trying to perfect it. I think pretty soon I will perfect it.
You'll
Yeah. Yeah, now you sound like me last week or the week before, whatever.
And I'm not even drinking. That's what's sad.
I have a cup of coffee to help me power on through.
How is the sleep schedule going?
Oh, man, it is just fucked up, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only laughing because I've been there. I'm only laughing out of, like, camaraderie.
You know, my wife is just like, just a trooper, though. I mean, and, you know, we've been struggling with a lot of things. You know, we have a 5-year-old. We have the newborn. We have to feed her every 2 hours. And now she's to the point where she's like, you know what? It's been 15 minutes and you're just about ready to go to sleep. Hey, give me some food. You know, and so we've been trying to breastfeed and it's been really tough. My nipples are so sore.
That's
so
where
I told
the moobs would come in handy.
Well, the moobs are for me.
Oh, the moobs are for you.
They're not for the baby.
What would you put in your moob?
That is a good question. Probably many, many things. Many things. It depends on the activity, I guess. I wouldn't put water in it, though. I can tell you that. That's just ridiculous.
No.
We've just been really struggling getting sleep because now, you know, we try to get up to support each other. You can do it! You know, like that that dude from The Waterboy. You can do it!
Like
you can do it all night long!
Yes, that's the best.
Yeah, doing it all night long has a new meaning now.
Doesn't it though?
But it's going well. It's just really chaotic. I mean,
You're tired.
I'm tired, and all I can think about, I have nightmares about, oh my God, we've run out of bottles and formula, and my nipples hurt. Stuff like that. Yeah, so it's good. I don't want anyone to think that, that it's tough. I mean, well, it's tough, but it's going bad or whatever. I think it's just regular stuff.
It's regular newborn baby.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the Skyelar Reed Show.
Yo, hi.
Skyelar, this is my new co-host, Brent, which I'm sure you've heard.
Wait, so did you get a co-host?
I did.
I've never met Uncle Brent. Hello.
This is Brent.
You're welcome. Welcome to the family, son.
Yeah.
So how have you been doing?
I'm good. How are you guys? I'm okay right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, there's ups and downs of the day, but right in this moment, I'm glad to be talking to you guys, and I was just under a blanket on the couch, so that's good. How did you guys meet?
I interviewed him on my last podcast and this one, and then I just slowly harassed him until he said
Whoa.
yes.
No, actually it was.
It took 2 years.
I'd always listen to her podcast and I'd say, good job, keep going, keep doing it. And she's like, damn it, I need to get rid of this guy somehow. And it just backfired on her.
It really did.
Like, now I'm on the show forever.
No, I'm just going to constantly be like, you have to keep going. Just keep swimming.
So, Skyelar, man, I want to talk to you. I combed the internet with you, not only with a comb, but a pick. I could not find you at first. But so what's the deal with your name? It's spelled very different. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I'm always scared, like, when I'm talking about, like, branding, which is a sad but inevitable thing that I have to think about. I am always afraid that people are going to miss the E, because when you say Skyelar, I think the thing that people jump on most easily, Skyelar, but then there's that E in there, so I always have to say, like, Skyelar or just Skyelar with an E. But if I say Skyelar with an E, they're going to throw it where the A is. It's terrible, but it's my name.
Or they'll put it on the end, man.
Yeah, Skyelar. Skylare.
Skylare.
With a little above the E.
Oh no, an umlaut or an accent mark.
Oh, that would be good.
So let's talk about. We're so off the rails already that I'm just like, we are gonna get back here.
I love your transitions. You do this every the beginning of every interview. So now that Brent's done, let's go ahead and actually do the interview.
That's so fucking true. And I always edit it out, but you know what? From now on, I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, this is where I'm taking control back.
I think he purged now, so let's go ahead and proceed with an actual interview.
He's done.
The demons are gone.
What the hell? You are like extra ornery today.
Dude, I have gotten very little sleep.
Oh, so you're the sleep deprived that's technically crazy and shouldn't drive.
No, I'm the sleep deprived that gets a little snarkier every minute I don't get sleep.
Like, why are you staring at me?
I don't know if I do that, but definitely I get a little bit darker and definitely more sarcastic as
you're ornerier than normal.
Proceed down the path of delusion.
You're delusional. Okay, that I believe.
But anyway, sorry, go ahead. But you're right. We should start the interview. Ready? Go.
I hate you so much.
Green flag.
Oh, Skyelar, I'm sorry.
No, it's wonderful.
He's like, I'm having fun.
It's wonderful to behold.
Shit.
Behold or beheld?
Oh,
it's beautiful to be held. It just slice in 2 words. I love being held.
Oh God.
Oh,
Okay.
good luck.
Yikes. Oh, and they're like this and I have to edit.
At some point, I will be quiet.
No, it won't.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll let you go, Brenda.
Fucking now I don't even know what I was saying.
You're going to say, all right, guys, let's actually.
Yeah, that's right. Let's get back to the interview. So, Skyelar, what have you been doing since we last interviewed? Because I know you were writing a play, a musical, anyway.
Yeah, well, that's the whole, like, every song I'm writing is a part of the music itself, like the musical itself. For some reason, I feel like musical's just like a dirty word. It's like a bad
I don't think
word.
so. I think it's a great word.
It is a good word. It's good, like, I feel like oftentimes people have the perception that, like, when, I don't know, if as artists yourselves, I wonder if you guys have had this experience where people will ask you like this really generic question. They'll say, what do you do? And if the response isn't something that they understand, like, I am an X, where you say your profession there, that whenever you say something like odd or out of the ordinary, usually people shut down. And so oftentimes when people ask me, what do I do? Like, that seems to be so broad. I just fill it with the thing I've been spending most of my time with, which is writing a musical. But that scares people and that makes people really uncomfortable. And so it's like, I don't know. I think that's something I have to get used to is
why do you think that makes people uncomfortable? And why was that such a hard sentence to say?
Yeah. I don't know. That's I think oftentimes people are raised to only fit into a very narrow subsect of what a subset of what people think is like appropriate or okay to be. And it's like an example is like if people say, how are you doing? And if the answer is anything other than good, it's like you've now strayed off the social path into, you know, the weird territory where I'm going to start thinking about how I actually feel, and I don't want to do that. So when you
just lie then.
Yeah, it's just lie. You're like, I'm doing good. And then people are like,
fantastic.
Good. Now I don't have to deal with you anymore. I can like
That's
walk
so funny.
away.
Why do you think people feel awkward? Is it because it's untraditional for someone to be writing a musical? Is that what you think?
Well, I think it has something to do with how people view art, because I think oftentimes I'm making lots of blanket statements, but in our like Western society, if someone is not engaging in a very particular job in which they make X amount of dollars and is deemed appropriate by people, then they're doing something wrong.
Right.
And so I think oftentimes when you say I'm a dancer or I'm a painter or I like to sing, just even like singing, I think oftentimes there is a subconscious reaction that people give that person that's like, oh, what you're doing is weird and wrong and something's wrong with you, which activates all the inner psychological turmoil of like, I'm not a part of the pack, I'm not accepted, people don't like me, and thusly I am now my super ego is going to turn on and tell me that what I'm doing is really wrong, and then they internalize it. So oftentimes I think people just try and smooth the situation over, and that's all happened. That's what I find so crazy, is that all of that, maybe not all the time, but it's happening in real time. That is like that process, at least for me and a few other artists I've known, that process is happening in that moment to try and course correct instead of just facing the fear and saying I'm an actor, which people do, but I think it's just really difficult for people to have to come into contact with that piece of sociology all the time. And that it makes me sad, and I see it makes other people sad. And I think there's a better way somewhere.
It really derails the artist from. Why did I say artist so weird? It really
artist.
It really derails the artist from doing what they are probably called, if for lack of a better word, to do.
So basically, what I hear you saying is people are judging creatives because their method of earning an income is not typically accepted for the rest of the population.
Yes, I think that's part of it. I think there's a weird symbiotic relationship people think that the arts and making money has to have. Like if you are an artist, like if you play guitar, if you play saxophone, if you're not actively making a living wage doing that, then what you're doing is wrong, and that's bad. It's these broad brushstrokes people make about art and what art should be and what jobs should be. Oftentimes, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this sentence. Period.
I'll be honest. I think that most people think true artists are bums. They're lazy people who couldn't cut it working a real job. And I think that's a general consensus. And that's why you need to surround yourself with other musicians and creatives, because they'll tell you not only if what you're doing is right or if what you do has merit, but they'll also tell you when you're fucking up, like if you're not being true to yourself.
My favorite part about the people who are like, oh, you're an artist or you're a creative. Oh, and those are the same people that enjoy the art and the music and actor and movies and all the stuff. And it's like, without people like us, you wouldn't have anything to fucking do. Just saying.
Be looking at a brick all day.
Just saying.
I did listen to the last episode. I actually have listened to it twice because I remembered it as I got into it again. So you're writing a musical, which is basically a psychological musical thriller of a serial killer, correct?
See, this is why I love going on the show. That's no. Yes and no.
Exactly.
Well, yes, but that's how you're going to sell it.
Okay, this is like the big meaty part of the artistic process that I love, is that I remember when we recorded that episode, I was trying to find a way to sell the musical. Anyways, okay. So basically the whole serial killer idea got thrown out immediately.
Oh man, I thought it was good.
No, I thought it was great.
Yeah, me too. I was like, this is
because it made sense about why the lead character was so fucking psychotic with the relationships around him, why he could not figure his life out.
Yeah, I think there was an incredible narrative seed there, and the seed stayed, but everything around the seed just got thrown out.
Okay.
And then I was writing music, and I'm arranging for the first couple of singles, and then I started taking this masterclass from this dramatist named David Mamet and Aaron Sorkin, and I was learning about drama and how to write drama and the Aristotle and the structures of storytelling. And so I was like, all right, the serial killer thing isn't working out. I was trying to find the true nature of the story, and I was like, okay, so I started thinking about telling a story about a man who just found out he had a daughter and was trying to reconcile his life of alcoholism so that he can reconnect with his daughter. And then I was really on that for a long time, and I was like, yes, I understand this. I'm very connected to the story. And then a couple weeks ago, just like the serial killer, I was like, okay, I got what I got from this experience of writing for this character. And then all of that fell away again. And by that time, I had watched this film. Have you guys seen Tick, Tick, Boom?
No.
It's wonderful. I thought it was wonderful. And the story follows Jonathan Larson, who is the guy that wrote Rent. He's most famous for writing Rent. And so the movie was directed by another famous musician, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote Hamilton, and it follows this guy. It's just a wonderful story. The man in New York is trying to write a musical, and he is living in kind of a shanty apartment, and his relationships are falling away, and the musical took place in the 90s when Jonathan Larson was writing in New York. And so I had watched that and I was so inspired. I was laying in bed a couple nights later and something just clicked in my head, much like when I discovered the songs I was writing were a part of a greater musical. Something else happened. I was in bed and I was laying in the dark. I couldn't go to sleep. And then all of a sudden I realized that the musical that I had spent so much time writing isn't about anything other than me. And I had to bring it all back in because Jonathan Larson's agent in the movie told him after his first musical flopped, she said, "Word of advice, write from what you know." And so I realized that, I'm a 26-year-old guy living in Lake City, Seattle. And
so you're a serial killer?
No. That's
gone.
No. That's all my secrets are being spilled on air. No.
I have a question. Is that the Andrew Garfield movie?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
If you like
Spider-Man,
bummed out artists, and if you like Spider-Man, you'll love watching him sing and dance on screen. It's a good time.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I realized that this musical that I was making, I just kept trying to make it about other people and kept trying to make it about these weird facsimiles or these like shattered pieces of myself that I wanted to pour my emotions into to try and tell a real story. And then it occurred to me, Sky, why don't you just tell your own story and just have it be about the experience of writing the musical. Have it be kind of just about my life, because that's the closest I'm ever going to get to a dramatic story. And after being trained from these classes with Aaron Sorkin about writing dialogue and reading Aristotle and listening to David Mamet, I was like, I can dramatize the events that led up to the production of this musical. And so I just started to reformat all the songs I had written a little bit more. And then I realized I didn't have to jam the songs into this weird narrative. And instead I was like, well, this is just about me, period.
Realizing you really were needing to write about you opened up the creative process for the storytelling as well as the music. It made it almost easier.
Yes, 100%.
So are you done?
I am done. That is a wonderful thing to actually truthfully say to somebody.
You are fully done writing it.
I am done writing all of the music. There are some lyrics that need to be worked out. And now, so the music is written. Almost, I would say like 95% of the lyrics are worked out. And now I am writing the script, like the actual dialogue. It's taken me like 4 or 5 years now to get to the dialogue. But now I have the music. I almost got the lyrics. I'm almost to, I don't know, I got a couple of scenes into the first act. And so it just feels very real now. And I feel very grateful to be able to actually tell that to people.
So let me ask you this. So you're doing this play that's no longer about a serial killer or an alcoholic.
Yes.
And so basically being a musician is funny because a lot of times you look at what's around you and write it, but you're always writing it from how you're experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of funny that you would finally come around to, I'm just going to write about what I know about what I'm seeing. So the question is what components of your life are you putting into this show? Because like there are things that when I write songs, I have to go through something to be able to write certain songs. Like, my tequila songs are pretty easy. Drink too much tequila, you'll write a song. But, that there are different emotions depending on the song. And your songs, or at least the few I listen to, are multi-layered. There are different emotions that go through it. And so what parts of your life, since you are writing about yourself, it is somewhat autobiographical, what are you pulling into your show or your musical?
Yeah, what's the story about now?
Other than the story I think takes place a couple of years ago. Time is kind of irrelevant, but there was a time,
especially the.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what year is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even. Some days it's like I wake up at like 7 and then I blink and then it's like 6 p.m. and I'm like, oops.
I don't know what happened. Just
Where
totally
am I?
disassociated there.
That's terrible. You're like, how old am I now? I'm 45. That no one told me that. No. Oh, to answer your question. Okay. So, the story takes place about some particularly hazardous and difficult relationships I had, a string of them, and there was a precipitating event that kind of led to the creation of this album. I had a best friend, and he lived with these two girls, and
I like where this is going. Go ahead.
Yeah. See, that's when this first started. That's what I thought too. I was like, that's not terrible thing to be in. And then it was like a nightmare, and I think everyone got scarred coming out of that. And it was. See, I don't know how to format it yet, and I think that's what's interesting. What had happened was I was doing a lot of drugs, and I was experimenting with a lot of psychedelics a lot of the time. So it wasn't like I would have, a transcendent experience and I'd go away from it and I'd think about it. It was just like weekend, sometimes twice a week, 3 times a week, and weed and drinking, it's like, and I started seeing some crazy stuff, I started seeing all sorts of beings. I started talking to things that weren't there or that were there and that my mind was just primed to see. And that was all intertwined in this kind of blossoming relationship and a kind of a weird love triangle that was going on. And then eventually all of that ended and I had to kind of pick up the pieces, and I was continuing my drug use, but I had, I guess, what could be considered an incredibly powerful trip, and I refer to it lovingly as my hell trip. And
okay,
I took too much, and I think I was in such a strange physical place. I was in like this, I don't know, like 500 square foot apartment in the middle of downtown Seattle, and it was like teeny tiny, and I took so many mushrooms, and I was so depressed and had no friends. So it's like you're gonna have something called a hell trip. And so after that I had some interesting realizations, and shortly after I got sober, and after I got sober I started writing music. And as I was writing music, I was doing this artist's recovery program. It's this 12 steps kind of thing called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And about week 4, I don't know, I always pin everything on week 4. About week 4, I had this, I think I talked about it last time, there was this kind of like bell ringing, God sending ding. And I was like, oh, these songs are a musical. And I had grown up with musicals, and I love the American musical. I love everything about it, the dancing, the lights, the spectacle, it's just beautiful. And so I started to think, well, what is this musical about? And then it took me a long time to figure out it was just about itself. It was a musical about creating a musical. And so I was like, and then not only that, but I saw Jonathan Larson do it on Netflix. And then I started seeing people like Bo Burnham, and there's a musical called Fanny Lou Hammer. It was a one-woman show. Bo Burnham's doing a one-man show. Tick Tick Boom was originally a one-man show. And I was like, why can't I do that? And then the answer was, well, you can. It's just going to take a while. And so I started producing things, and I'm talking to, like world-renowned mix engineers, and talking to crazy saxophonists in Russia, and building this thing from the ground up. See, that's what's incredible though, because when I first started, it was like, oh, I'm all alone, and no, it's gonna. And then I come to learn that I have these incredible musicians helping me build this absolutely bananas product. Like all of the demos I have on SoundCloud in comparison with the first single that's about to release is like, I don't know, like peanut butter and chocolate or apples and oranges. I just didn't want to use apples and oranges. You know, it's night and day. It's
right.
Incredible.
So let's talk about that, because I definitely heard a difference in growing pains this time compared to last time. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
That was the greatest thing ever.
So this growing pains has been fully produced. It is completely there's a new arrangement. I have an acoustic guitarist, a saxophonist, a drummer, a bassist, my keys. I have a backup singer on the track, and it's been mixed by this guy named Jonathan Plum. And Jonathan Plum is wonderful. He's got this, he's just good to look at. Like, he's not like, ooh, he's a sexy man. He's a good looking man, but he has such kind eyes, and he's got this scraggly black beard, and he's just a professional too. And he's very kind, and it's been mixed by him, and it's just, it's incredible. And it was mastered by a lady up here in Seattle. So it's professionally mixed, professionally mastered. You got the whole band on it. I spent months arranging the intro, and we shot a music video for it. And it's just right.
When does that come out?
That's a good question.
Well, that was a total evasive answer. That's a good question. Next, please.
Next. Don't talk to me.
No, I was going to ask you, that song to me had a heavy Billy Joel influence to it.
Yeah.
Was that your purpose, or was that something you wrote it and then you went through it and made your edits, and then you step back and go, oh, there's some Billy Joel stuff in there? Because there's more than one instrument that reflects a sound of Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Some of the vocal lines you sing have like his tone, some of his tone. And the funniest part is you have some vocal tones of Ozzy Osbourne too.
Oh yeah, Ozzy rocked.
You do, and I don't think that was planned. I just think that's where your voice sits comfortably.
Yeah. Wow.
And so because of that, the tone comes through. But it's a unique blending of Billy Joel. And then the keyboard part. Are you using a real piano or a keyboard, or what are you using?
Yeah, I'm using a Nord Stage 3. It's a electric piano, or it's technically called a quote unquote stage piano, but it is a piece of technology. It's not an acoustic piano.
It sounded good.
Thank you. I spent a long time trying to get a really like clear and crisp piano sound out of it, because it comes with a bunch of presets, but I was like, I had to sit around for hours and fiddle at all the insane knobs and reverb and what else is on this thing. I gotta look at it. Chorus, blah blah blah.
That's what musicians do. It's because we're hopeless dorks.
Yeah.
Really. Everybody's like, I want to be a rock star. Rock stars are so cool. I'm like, nah, the music video is cool, but that guy in his house is sitting over a guitar or a keyboard going, what new weird sound can I make?
Oh yeah. There's a really good video of John Mayer creating a solo for, he came out with a single like 2 years ago, and it's like this 7-minute video of him just making stank face over him trying to make this solo, and he just stops and starts and stops and starts, and he's just like the king.
That dude is a monster.
Yeah.
That dude is a monster, especially on guitar. Yeah, I'm going to have to go find that and check it out. But pretty much he always looks like he's in pain when he's playing. And that's what every guitarist looks like, though, if you're good.
I'm appreciating your profile picture here on Zoom. It's like you got a great singing face.
I'm constipated right there.
Yeah. You're like, I got to push it out.
You're like, ah. So when is the video coming out, and where did you shoot it at?
The video is going to, this is kind of a vague answer, but the video is coming out roughly 3 days after the single comes out, and the single is supposed to come out this Friday, but I just ran into some distribution problems, so the single may come out next Friday.
Which will be the Friday before this even airs. Okay. What is the video about?
The video is about all sorts of things. It's about, I filmed it. So I started taking acting classes because, hey, if I'm putting a musical on, I better not fucking suck when I get on stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, can you imagine? You're like, this
just get up there and
great.
You're like, la 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 la.
I have a car. People would be like, shut the fuck up. They're brutal.
You know, that's my whole goal whenever I get up there. I'm just like, all right, let's see how low we can take this down.
Oh, damn. Before I get booed off stage. I went to an open mic time one time. Or open mic night one time.
It's okay. We're all on the same wavelength. The listeners might not be, but it's fine. Go ahead.
They're like, these guys are drunk. No, I went to an open mic night and I was explaining, I don't know, not explaining, but I was like saying what the song was about. I have this song called Addiction, and I was like, yeah, it's about all sorts of addictions, weed, alcohol, and I was like, predominantly sex addiction. And then a lady in the back was like, the best kind. And I was like, no, I'm being serious. It wrecked my life.
You're like, no, it's not. Nothing about it was the best.
I know. And then no one said anything. And I was like, okay, here's the song anyways.
Here's the song.
And taking it low.
I'm just going to avoid all of this.
You know what? You should have repeated it 3 more times.
It's not funny. You're screaming at people.
So you are performing in this video. Are the other musicians that played on the master performing too?
No, they are very far away. One of them's in Germany. Another guy, the saxophonist, is in Russia. Nice. I think the bassist is in Maryland. The video itself centers around, because the intro to the song is this kind of soundscape, and it makes it sound like we're on a movie set. And so we recorded. There was a bunch of kids from my drama class that helped me perform the Meshuggah, and it's incredible. And we got some amazing faces in there, and we're basically pretending like we're on a movie set. And then the latter half of the music video is all sorts of little tiny vignettes of me talking to another version of me and being scared by me. You know, it's just like I will have filmed a chair and I'll be sitting in the chair talking to someone. Then the camera pans over to the right and it's just another version of me. It's just me sitting in the opposite chair responding. So there's a lot of like weird,
nice
self-referential humor, I guess.
Don't stop.
I noticed that you said these people, you're the musicians you're working with from different areas. Did you select musicians because you'd heard their style and you said, oh, this person would do a really good job? Or did you just go to, how did you choose the musicians you chose to play on the track?
I went to, have you ever heard of Fiverr?
I have.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm having an interesting reaction to this question because originally when I started, I felt much like the saying what do you do question. I felt kind of dirty using Fiverr. Like I can't find musicians in my area to actually play with me, so now I have to resort to Fiverr. But I vetted so many musicians and I finally found some that I could adequately pay. Like they wanted a particular sum and I felt, this is fair and I can pay you. And they provided me with amazing tracks. And I think if you're not able to find musicians around you, that it's either go on the internet or don't find musicians. It's like,
yep.
Yeah.
I like using musicians from other countries, and even songwriters, co-writers, because I have a few. If I'm looking for something really specific, then I actually go look and I don't worry about having someone near me. There was a time where I'd be like, oh shit, I hear this stuff in my head I can't play, and I don't know anyone that can play it. Or, I know this guy can play it, but he doesn't fucking listen to me when I tell him what to play. And so it's a good resource. And I think it's cool that you tapped into those resources. That says a bunch of things. That one, you're confident enough in what you're doing to believe that it's worth bringing in very skilled musicians to do your parts. It shows growth that you're confident in yourself. So I think that's kind of cool that you did that. So specifically when you hired the other people, like you mentioned a sax player and you mentioned a guitarist and someone else from another area, what attracted you to their styles and stuff like that?
Yeah, the guitarist was the hardest, but I think the saxophonist was the easiest. He was this Russian guy named Oleg, and I was looking for someone to just rip, and there's a couple of sections in that sax solo where there's just this big strong note, and I was really looking for that. And I clicked this guy's little profile, and then he's just the man. I have never heard someone play saxophone like this dude does, and it's so funny because here we are, in America speaking English, and the guy speaks English, but it is so delightful to work with someone all the way in fucking Russia who can just fucking slay on the saxophone. It just it's incredible. And I remember when I heard it, I showed my sister and she was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, if you got sister's approval, that's awesome.
So did you use the same saxophone player for SFAKA?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
So when I was listening, this freaked me out because at point in time I was listening and I was like, is that a fucking alto sax or is that a trumpet? Because of the way he was staccatoing some of his notes. Because the trumpet's real, like bullet. And he was doing his saxophone like that. But the way the tone he was giving off was like a trumpet at sometimes, and I was like, I don't know if that's a real sax player, trumpet player, something in between. Do they have some type of new instrument? Yeah. Is he playing it on keyboards? I was really confused what you're doing. That was one of my notes for that song to specifically ask. On that song, the SFAKA, is that how you say it?
Yeah, you could say it like that, but it's also just pronounced Svaka.
Svaka?
Like an alien.
Is that a made-up word?
I think it is a made-up word. I had a dream about it one time. I was writing that song and I had no idea what to call it, and I was just way in the beginning stages of it. And I had a dream one time that I was at a concert somewhere and I saw someone's bass had a sticker on it, and the sticker said "Star Child Father, AKA." And I woke up and I remembered that, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And then I just shortened it to SFAKA.
So do you know what it means now?
No clue.
What
no
the hell?
idea. I know. It's like, what is Star Child Father? I have no idea.
So the other thing about that song, Safaka, sounds like a new kind of coffee or something. But anyway,
Safaka.
The groove is like really cool. And then about a third of the way through, you start doing scat vocals too.
Oh yeah, dude. The drums, yeah.
No, the vocals. There were vocal scats.
Did you
start? Yeah. How did that come about?
Oh, that's so funny because I think that just got left in there because for me that was like, this is how the drums are gonna go, but it was just like me trying to remember how to fill them with drums, and I think it just got left in.
Oh, that's funny.
It's great. You should leave it in there.
Maybe you should leave it. That's a good idea.
You should leave it in there.
My favorite line from that song itself is "Love more, want less. What you need is in your chest," or something like that.
Oh yeah,
that is a good line and very thought provoking.
So, What is that song about?
I think I just wanted to write something that was kind of groovy and positive, because oftentimes the songs that I write sound positive, but there's like a darker twist behind them. So I just wanted to I'm writing a happy song that's about basically the good stuff of life, and it makes me feel good.
Down the street, oh, speak your piece. When you're stuck up in your head, give someone a hug instead. 'Cause there's no upper limits to the happiness we'll find. So brother, just have faith and don't forget to smile. Let in the sunshine. Let in that sunshine. Sunshine in. Let it in. That sunshine. Play on and let the sunshine in. When you're feeling kinda quiet and you think you got it right, just relax and take a minute and remember you are in it. So baby, don't you worry, 'cause you're living in a hurry and you'll just come back when your dad ain't gone. So drop what you were lugging, 'cause I think you need some loving and a break from all the tugging and a jugging up the mountain top. And honey, don't you sweat it, 'cause you know you won't regret it. And we shout amen to the here and now. Woo! Straight-laced, tight shoes. Who gave you the computer blues? Love more, want less. What you need is inside your chest. And when you're seeing God, you feel her in the air. Be here, be now, my friends, and I will meet you there. Let in the sunshine. Let in the sunshine. Sunshine in. Let it in. That sunshine. Play on and let the sunshine in. Let it in. Let it in. Let it in. sunshine, sunshine in. Let it in. Let the sunshine. Hey, oh, let the sunshine in. You know, we're just trying to be happy out here, right?
Would you say as you went through making your songs and producing, your quality has gotten better, and some of it is because you've brought people in, but it's also because you've learned more. So as far as your vocals go, would you say that you've gotten more comfortable with your vocals as you went in? And can you also say, if you have gotten more comfortable, how did you get more comfortable? What steps did you take to get more comfortable?
What's interesting, when I started writing music, I was in that little tiny, like 500 square foot apartment, and I had no shame. And so I was like, yes, I understand people are below me, above me, and on left and right, but I'm gonna write this music, so I gotta. And so there was a level of like no fucks given, but like maybe 3 fucks given. So I never was like singing, you know, like from my stomach and the hardest that I can go. And eventually I learned that if I'm singing, no one's going to count the 3 fucks. So you gotta, like, I have to lose that. And so eventually I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna sing, I'm going to sing from my stomach, and I'm going to sing to the best of my ability. And so I think when I started to do that, I've been able to get up a little bit higher, and I have a little bit more stamina. But my voice is still my voice, but, you know, I think it's just gotten technically a little bit easier to sing.
So basically you're saying I just fucking wail.
I just do it. I
mean, because you're talking about, you know, you probably didn't push as hard, you know, from your diaphragm, which is what you use to not only reach certain notes, but also just have power when you sing. Mm-hmm. Did you change where you were living that helped you with that? Or because you have to be in a place where you can like actually sing.
So is there anything else you want to tell us about the project, or are we just kind of waiting on you to finish writing the script? Will you keep me in the loop for when you're going to do it?
Yes.
Because all I need is an excuse. And I just said this to Darksoft, whose interview just came out like a couple weeks ago. I really just need the fucking excuse to go to Seattle. I need a reason to go.
Yeah.
That's so good that I can be like, it's business.
When I promise you that when the play comes out, I will try my hardest to remember to send you a ticket. I would love to have you guys there.
Where can my listeners find you?
Isn't that the question? I promise you I will get better at that. But you can find me now on Facebook, and it's Skyelar the Music on Facebook, Skyelar, and then you can find me on Instagram by the same name. And then eventually, when the single comes out, you'll be able to find me literally everywhere else.
So I have something to tell y'all. During this episode, my daughter for the last few days has had her bottom tooth trying to come out, and during this episode, it came out.
Yay!
She came in, and I wasn't really able to celebrate with her. So if you could leave something in this episode, so that we acknowledge the great thing that happened. She lost her tooth.
All right, Skyelar, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm going to let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I am really from the bottom of my heart.
I really like Skyelar. I really genuinely want to go see this play. I've been wanting to see it now that it's changed a couple times. Now I'm like, now I'm dedicated. I need to see it now. Thank you so much again for coming to another episode of Sound Pollution. We appreciate you. Make sure that you are clicking on those links below. Show us some love. Show the artist some love. Share. Get out there. Comment, subscribe, download, all of it.
Tell us you don't love us. Tell us you do.
No, don't tell us you don't love us. Tell us you love us.
No, if you don't love us,
keep your fucking opinion to yourself. How about that?
You come and tell me. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'll be okay
I'm
with
sensitive and shit. I'll cry for days. Please don't. I'll be like, they don't like me.
I don't know if you're that sensitive.
I'm pretty fucking sensitive, really. It's there's like the soft little sensitive egg, and it's just the shell is super bitch, and it's to keep me safe.
So the main point is like, subscribe, and do all those other little things that we.
And if you got mean things to say, go say it to Brent. Leave me alone.
That's right. Come to me.
And remember, make some noise.